was super annoying. An alarm went off, and that stopped that. So we're gonna have to just find a way to patch this together because I'm too far into it to go back to the beginning. Okay, so we're talking about blockages. Blockages distort our experience of life, and when we let go of them, we can experience life more fully because we're actually experiencing life and not just reacting to what we perceive to be happening because of the stuff that we are holding on to when we're blocking. It's amazing what these things do to you, and we all do it, so don't feel bad, but when you really think about it, it really screws with you. So something here that we can do to sort of start finding where this shows up in our lives is to kind of pay attention to where you've got tension or heaviness in your body when certain emotions rise. You know, if you've seen my videos, you've seen me do this, especially with strong emotions. I take a deep breath and I just kind of do a body scan. Like, where am I feeling this in my body? And that's physically where your blockage is. So when you find this blockage, you can take a deep breath, you can relax, and you can choose to release this. Even say to yourself, I release this. I choose to let this go. And allow whatever emotion that you've trapped there to surface. Because you gotta feel it if you want to let it go. It sucks. It sucks. So one thing Michael Singer always says is, you know, if it goes down with pain, it comes up with pain, right? If you're holding the pain, it's gonna feel painful when you release it. But just keep in mind that that's what it is. It's not actually a reaction to what's going on. And if you allow yourself to feel it, it's gonna go away. So you can start paying attention to those blockages where you find them and you relax and you consciously let them go. And over time, when you do this, it becomes a habit, and you can really help dissolve these blockages and expand your emotional capacity, your ability to feel a range of emotions and yet be more stable within it. All right, now we get to talk about the subconscious, because we haven't really gone into the subconscious really a lot this month, and we're going to talk about it a little bit right now. So there are the attachments that we are aware of, but there are even more attachments that we are unaware of, and these are subconscious, and a lot of these are formed in childhood and through societal conditioning and whatever our environment was like when we were growing up. And these are really difficult to recognize, but they dictate everything we do. Just about everything that we do. They play a really significant role in how we think and how we behave and how we react and how we view life. Let me think. That's a good example. I talked about it the other day. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can't think of them because they're subconscious. They are below your conscious level so naturally, but they're there. There are a lot of them, and you know, there's a result of events that you may remember, you may not remember. You know, sorry, okay, I kind of just got lost in my thought there, and that I keep getting these messages, and it genuinely irritates me because I'm like, I don't want to know. I'm not a part of that conversation. It's a message thread and whatever. Anyway, okay, it doesn't matter. So how can we kind of stop sending me messages? I don't want to see them. I'm doing something right now. Okay. So focus. How do we get at these things, right? Like, how do we find these things if they're subconscious and we're not conscious of them? How do we find them? And one way to do that is kind of to use mindfulness and journaling. We've discussed this last month. Journaling really helps with mindfulness. It stops. It makes you stop and think and really go through and finish a thought and stay on it, and you can go deep with it. So as you journal, you know, kind of explore your patterns of behavior and ask yourself, like, where did I learn this? is this something I chose consciously, or is this something I adopted without realizing it? Yeah, I gotta change those notifications. That's driving me insane. Okay, come on. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes because I'm getting distracted. You know what? I'm attaching to... It shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't be getting messages. It's fucking up my concentration. I can't focus. No, just focus. Okay. So as you're journaling about these things and asking yourself these questions, which I have to say has always helped me immensely. It has really brought a lot of subconscious things to the surface for me, because I ask these questions and you get these answers that you don't really think are from you. You're just like, oh, all of a sudden you have these clarities, these realizations, and these understandings where you're like, oh, okay, I see that. And as you bring these patterns to light, you can, it's like when we were talking about last week, how the different ways of letting go, sitting down and understanding where something is coming from and gaining insight is going to allow you to question and release these sorts of attachments. So that's kind of it, I think. This is letting go of these things kind of gives us an opportunity to be a more authentic and expansive version of ourselves. And, you know, today, even if you just do one thing, kind of maybe identify one attachment that's particularly strong and just ask yourself, what would happen if I didn't need this attachment to feel whole? What would happen if I let this go? Does it serve me? It won't. If you're having strong emotions about it, chances are it doesn't. So this just kind of opens the door to this transformation that you're looking for, this ability to let go. So that's today's video, and it's only 7 minutes. The other ones have been like 25, so congratulations. This is like 1/4 the length of the videos I've been doing lately. You know, I'm gonna go inside real quick. Come with me. I have something I want to say. My neighbor's sitting on our porch, so I don't really want to say this, and like, because I know she's listening. Because who wouldn't? I'm fascinating. But for subconscious attachment, a good example of this would be the adoption thing, right? For the longest time, I was like, I don't have any trauma with adoption. Adoption is something I feel really good about. I love that about part of my identity. I love, you know, I know that my parents always did the right thing about it. I was always told that I was adopted. I was made to feel special. But, and this has nothing to do with them or how they did anything, when you're a baby in the womb and you're listening to your biological mother's voice and you hear her heartbeat, you have a sense of who she is. And as it's like newborn, I was taken away from the woman who gave birth to me, the woman who I knew as my mother until then. And at that point, we're not even thinking, right? We are just balls of emotion. And these are like, we don't even realize how formative these experiences are. But in that moment, as a baby, being separated from your mother equals death. Like, you're gonna die if this woman's not there to take care of you, right? So that's what happened in my head. like immediately after birth, I honestly thought, you know, my feeling, that's this, one of my formative feelings that I felt most was this feeling of, I'm gonna die. like my life is in imminent danger. And that affected me subconsciously. And it's something that I realize comes into play with a lot of my attachment, like my anxiety, separation anxiety stuff, like why I do what I do or have done what I have done in relationships in the past is because I freak out when I feel abandoned. Or I did. I freaked out. I used to freak out when I feel abandoned. when I felt abandoned. And it's something that I'm working on, naturally. But that's a subconscious attachment for you. That's like a perfect example of, oh, that's why I do that. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, so we're done with the video now. And it's going to remind you, even if you're holding on to something like, I'm going to die from when you were a baby, if someone leaves me, I'm going to die, you can always choose to have a grateful day.